The ink on the Declaration of Independence was barely dry. The year was 1776, and the American colonies had just declared their independence from British rule. This monumental document, crafted with eloquence and fervour, was a beacon of hope and a symbol of a new beginning for the fledgling nation. The newly formed nation celebrated its hard-won freedom. Streets were filled with jubilant crowds, fireworks lit up the night sky, and the air was thick with the promise of liberty and justice for all. It was a time of great optimism and unity, as people from all walks of life came together to forge a new path forward. Yet in the hushed parlours of Virginia, whispers circulated about the man who penned those immortal words: Thomas Jefferson. Behind the grandeur and celebration, there were murmurs of discontent and suspicion. Jefferson, a revered statesman and intellectual, was at the center of a growing controversy that threatened to overshadow his contributions to the nation. A shadow fell over his legacy, a scandal that would forever tarnish his image as the champion of liberty. The allegations were serious and deeply troubling, casting doubt on his integrity and moral standing. As the whispers grew louder, the public's perception of Jefferson began to shift, and the once celebrated hero found himself under intense scrutiny. How could the man who proclaimed the equality of all men be entangled in such a compromising situation? The contradiction was stark and unsettling. Jefferson's personal life, particularly his relationship with Sally Hemings, a woman enslaved at his Monticello estate, became the focal point of the scandal. The revelations were shocking and raised profound questions about the true nature of his beliefs and actions. The answer, like most historical enigmas, lay buried beneath layers of time, perception, and carefully constructed narratives. Historians and scholars have spent decades sifting through letters, documents, and artifacts to piece together the complex and often contradictory story of Thomas Jefferson. His legacy is a tapestry woven with both triumphs and flaws, a reminder that even the most revered figures are not immune to the complexities and imperfections of the human condition. Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence, stood as a paragon of Enlightenment ideals. Born in 1743 in Shadwell, Virginia, Jefferson was a polymath, excelling in various fields such as law, architecture, and natural sciences. His insatiable curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge made him one of the most influential figures in American history. His vision shaped the nascent nation. Jefferson's belief in the power of education and the importance of an informed citizenry led to the founding of the University of Virginia, an institution that still stands as a testament to his commitment to learning and enlightenment. His advocacy for religious freedom and separation of church and state was groundbreaking and set a precedent for future generations. His contributions to American democracy were undeniable. Jefferson's tenure as Secretary of State, Vice President, and ultimately President saw the implementation of policies that would shape the young republic. His dedication to the principles of liberty and justice were evident in his efforts to reduce the national debt and his opposition to the Alien and Sedition Acts, which he viewed as an infringement on individual rights. As the third President of the United States, he oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the nation. This monumental achievement not only expanded the territory, but also opened up vast tracts of land for exploration and settlement, paving the way for the westward expansion that would define America's growth in the 19th century. Jefferson, the architect of liberty, designed his own monument to Freedom Monticello. This estate, which he meticulously planned and constructed over several decades, reflects his innovative spirit and his dedication to creating a space that embodied his ideals of beauty, functionality, and harmony with nature. This architectural masterpiece overlooking the Virginia countryside became a symbol of Jeffersonian ideals. Monticello stands not just as a home, but as a representation of Jefferson's vision for America, a nation built on the principles of freedom, education, and the pursuit of happiness. It remains a lasting legacy of a man whose ideas and actions continue to inspire. Despite his accomplishments, whispers of scandal followed Jefferson throughout his career. Political rivals, sensing his vulnerabilities, seized upon rumors to discredit him. These whispers centered around his relationship with Sally Hemings, a young enslaved woman who bore a striking resemblance to Jefferson himself. The accusations were shocking. Could Jefferson, the champion of liberty, enslave his own children? The allegations struck at the very core of his carefully constructed image. Jefferson, a slave owner himself, grappled with the moral implications of slavery. He recognized its inherent evil, yet he considered it a necessary evil for the economic prosperity of the young nation. His own words revealed a man conflicted. "I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever." These words, etched with guilt and apprehension, hinted at the turmoil within. Section 5. The Hemmings Affair. The Hemmings Affair remained a subject of speculation and denial for centuries. The whispers and rumors that surrounded the relationship between Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings were often dismissed as mere gossip, unworthy of serious historical consideration. Newspapers of the time, both local and national, occasionally hinted at the scandal, but it was never fully acknowledged by the mainstream historical narrative. Historical accounts, often shaped by racial bias, dismissed the allegations as slander. Many historians of the 19th and early 20th centuries were quick to defend Jefferson's reputation, arguing that such a relationship was impossible or highly unlikely. These accounts were influenced by the racial prejudices of their time, which sought to maintain the image of Jefferson as a paragon of virtue and the ideal of the American founding father. However, in recent decades, DNA evidence confirmed the truth. Thomas Jefferson fathered at least one child with Sally Hemings. The breakthrough came in the late 1990s when genetic testing provided conclusive evidence that linked Jefferson's lineage to the descendants of Hemings. This scientific validation forced historians and the public alike to confront the uncomfortable realities of Jefferson's private life and the complexities of his legacy. This revelation sent shockwaves through the historical community. Scholars and historians were compelled to reevaluate their understanding of Jefferson, not only as a statesman and philosopher, but also as a man who lived within the deeply flawed institution of slavery. Conferences and symposiums were held to discuss the implications of this discovery, leading to a more nuanced and comprehensive view of Jefferson's life and times. The man who penned the words, "All men are created equal," had fathered children with an enslaved woman, denying them their freedom and their heritage. This stark contradiction between Jefferson's public ideals and private actions has sparked ongoing debates about the nature of his legacy. It serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities and contradictions inherent in the lives of historical figures, urging us to look beyond the myths and confront the full scope of their humanity. Section 6. A Legacy Tarnished. The Hemings affair irrevocably tarnished Jefferson's legacy. The champion of liberty, the architect of freedom, stood exposed as a hypocrite. His words, once held as sacred, now rang hollow in the face of his actions. The cognitive dissonance was jarring. How could a man who so eloquently espoused the ideals of equality engage in such a morally reprehensible act? Section 7. The Reckoning. The revelation of the Hemings affair forced a national reckoning. America, grappling with its own troubled history of slavery and racial injustice, had to confront the flaws of its founding fathers. Monuments to Jefferson were defaced. His legacy was debated in classrooms and courtrooms. The nation was forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that its heroes were not gods but flawed men, products of their time. Section 8. Jefferson's Paradoxical Legacy. Thomas Jefferson remains a paradox, a champion of liberty who owned slaves, a visionary leader who fathered children with an enslaved woman. His legacy is a testament to the complexities of history, a reminder that even the greatest among us are flawed. His story serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to look beyond the polished facade of history to confront the messy, uncomfortable truths that lie